Hey guys, Tommy Bryson here, and today I was about to make a pretty big mistake. I was about to pay down $21,020.03 in student loan debt, but thankfully I got a better idea on how to pay off my student loans in full a lot faster without costing me any money, and on top of that, also while making extra money on the side. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys my full budget on how I'm going to pay my degree off very fast, very quickly, without costing me any money whatsoever, and how you can also do the same. Now, the very first thing is this, guys. I want you guys to take a second and comment down below and let me know exactly how much money do you owe in total in your student loan debt. On top of that, what is your interest, and are you using the degree or are you not using the degree? Comment down below and let me know. A lot of people start but they don't finish. They might drop out, but they still owe the money. That's fine. Just comment down below and let me know. And eventually, in the end of the video, it will make a lot of sense to why I'm asking you this question. And on top of that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified. And on top of that, also hit the like button. And that way, I know you guys enjoy these videos because, again, I also do post videos every single day. Now, the very first thing is, guys, here are all the details to my student loan debt, how much money I owe, and why. Well, the first thing is this, guys. I actually got this accounting degree from a private school, and it cost me around $90,000. However, thankfully and luckily, because of the government and because I was in a very low tax bracket back then, and on top of that, my parents are not really rich, well, I got a bunch of scholarships because I was a good student. On top of that, I got grants and financial aid, and I only ended up paying around $13,000 for this. But on top of that, little secret here is that I also went ahead and I took a loan out for $7,000, and I used that money to actually start my business. So in total, that's why I owe around $21,020.03, and I pay around 4.66% every single year in interest. So that's why I asked you. Now you know mine, and now I'm going to tell you exactly what is my repayment plan when it comes to paying down my debt. Now, before you tell me, Tommy, well, your repayment plan might be different from mine because, again, you only owe like 21K, bro. Not a big deal. I owe like 150, or you might owe 3K, or you might even owe $300,000. And that's why for this video, I thought about like, hey, everyone is different. They have different situations. They might owe more money. They might owe less money. So why don't I make a video where I give you guys 3 different options on how to pay your student loan debt? And my way is way number 3. So wait until then to find out exactly how I'm paying it off with all the details. So the very first option is this, guys. You have people that are lucky enough to actually grab their debit card or whatever they have and pay off their student loans in full. That's like around the 1% or 10% of people out there that make enough money right now to just say like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pay off all of my student loan debt in one fell swoop and just be done with it. Now, the pro of doing this is like, hey, I'm done with it. I don't have to deal with it anymore. No more payments, no more interest. Great, awesome. But the con is, if you had to use that money to invest it, then your investment could have paid off your student loan debt, and you also own something that actually makes you money, because once you pay that off in full, well, all that money is gone. It's not coming back, okay? Now, for example, I had a friend, and this friend, by the way, a very good friend of mine, I know you're watching this video, a friend of mine that paid around $35,000 in student loan debt just because he had the money and he didn't know what he wanted to do at the time. However, later, like next year, he bought some real estate, and now he regrets actually, spending all the money on student loan debts because he knows for a fact now he could have invested that money into real estate, for example, and gotten back more money to pay off the interest without him costing him any real money, because the asset in real estate would have paid for the interest of his student loan debt. Now, number 2 here is this, okay? Sometimes people go out there and they get a degree in something that they might not like, okay? Or something they want to try out. Hey, I want to be a lawyer. Hey, I want to be a marine biologist. Hey, I want to be a psychologist. And all these degrees are very expensive. However, you might go to a very fancy college. You might go to Harvard. I had friends that happened to this before, okay? And they go to Harvard, for example, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to be a lawyer. and I am going to borrow all this money, but eventually it doesn't make any sense because at the end of the day, I'm going to make so much money that I'm just gonna pay that off very fast and very quickly. Now, 5 years later, they owe around $150,000, and option two, all they're doing is basically paying down the interest of the loan because the payments are so high. And sometimes they might drop out, sometimes they might not actually go into the career, but they still owe all that money. So for option two is, well, what if I can only afford to pay the minimum payment, which is actually only the interest? What do I do then, Tommy? Well, the answer is I can't really say this for me because, again, that's not my situation. But in reality, you know, my monthly payments are around like $219 for my student loan debt. Very simple stuff, okay? This way I'm done very quickly. However, the interest rate for my student loan debt is only around $89 every single month. So no big deal whatsoever. And my investments right now, my stocks and my business, make a ton more money every single month, so I can pay that off easily without having to worry. However, if I owed $150,000 in student loan debt, well, just the interest would be almost $585 every single month. And that's the big difference, okay? Because if you have a lot of student loan debt, then the interest is so high. So what do you do right here? Well, the truth is, it's going to be really hard, most likely, to actually get into any investments that could probably match the money you're spending on that student loan debt. So the best answer might be, well, I might just have to take this L for right now and try to pay this student loan off as fast as possible, or lower the balance of the manageable like 50K or 20K and then start investing money. But if you don't and you just invest money, it's going to be very hard to get your investment to make you $585 off the bat very quickly. So for this option right here, I would probably go ahead and just pay down whatever you have to pay down as fast as possible, and that way you're done with it much faster. And then once you get to like 50K or 20K and you're paying like $100 in interest every single month, well, now you can start investing, and your investment will probably make you a lot more money. Unless you want to take the risk and just invest now and then worry about it later. That's up to you, okay? Now, option three is what I'm doing. What I'm doing is this. I am going to basically look at my student loan debt, how much I owe, make a plan, make a deadline, and stick to it, okay? So here are all the details on how I am going to be paying my student loan debt off right now. I can probably show you better than I can actually just tell you. So here are the loan terms, how much I have to pay per month, and all that fancy stuff to finish as fast as possible. And here's also why I'm going to do it this way. So guys, I linked down below a link for a website that actually helps you calculate your entire student loan debt throughout the entire life and shows you exactly how much money you have to pay every single month. And that's why I asked you guys in the beginning, how much do you owe and what is your interest rate? For me right now, let's put in all the numbers, okay? So for my loan amount, I owe around $21,000, okay? So $21,000 and $20, okay? That's all I really owe, plus 3 cents, but I can't put in 3 cents here, so I'll put in an extra $1 and then just call it a day. On top of that, my interest rate is around 4.66. It's already here. If you don't know your interest rate, check your online provider, and that way you know. My online provider is Nelnet. A lot of people don't like them. I don't know why, but to me, they've been kind, and here's why. Because I understand the business, and I know that all these people want is money. And my job as the loan owner is to make sure I pay off my stuff very fast and very quickly, if it makes sense, without having them make a whole lot of money from me, okay? That's the entire point here. And I understand business is business, so I'm not mad at anyone, okay? So now, for how long I want to take, I'm going to actually take around 10 years to pay off my loans. Now you might say, Tommy, that's insane. Why not pay it off right now? Well, I'm going to tell you guys later in this video, so stick around for like 1 second, okay? On top of that, my monthly payments, I'm not putting in anything, so no prepayment here. So in reality, my monthly payments need to be around $219 for me to be finished with my student loan debt. However, at the end of the 10-year period, all I'm going to be paying is a total of $26,338. So basically, guys, an entire degree is only going to cost me an extra $5,300 in interest, and that's basically it. Now, the big deal is this, guys, okay? If I literally grab, by the way, in this debit card right here, I have around $45,000. Okay, if I grab this money right now, by the way, in stocks I also have around like $30,000, and in my cash business, my business, I have around like $130,000 there also. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could pay it off right now, but the point is, it doesn't make any sense because I can buy some real estate, which I'm getting into right now. I can buy some real estate that will pay this off a lot faster and would also make me more money than just paying off my student loan debt right now. Okay, so a quick example to show you exactly why it's not the best idea to pay my student loans off right now is, say for example, I use that same amount of money and I put it into real estate and I got back 10% or maybe even 12% every single year from my investment. ROI, return on my investment. So here's my calculator. By the way, I'll link it down below also, and this we can calculate it also. So say for example, my current principal, which is how much money I'm putting in, is $21,022. Okay, because again, I can't put in that 3 cents, so I just round it up to the next dollar. I know, very bougie, right? On top of that, I'm not putting any more money into it. I'm just letting it grow over, let's say, the same 10-year period. Okay, so over 10 years, and on top of that, my interest rates that I'm going to be making every single year from this, let's say, is around 12%, right? Which is a not very conservative return, but it's very average, not that much. Okay, maybe 20% is too much, 15% too much, but 12% is not really that bad whatsoever. So let's say, for example, I left this money for 10 years at 12%. In reality, at the end of the 10-year period, I would make a total of around $65,291.14. So I can basically triple my money or pay down my student loan debt right now. The answer is, how about I just have my investments pay down my student loan debt, and that way I'm not the one paying for it. That's why I'd rather pay my student loan debt over 10 years. So my payments every single month are literally only going to be around $219 for 10 years, and that is about it. And if I have a minimum wage job, I can pay that. If everything goes wrong in my life, I can still pay that. Not a big deal, okay? So on top of that, guys, lastly, if you learned anything in this video, the whole thing is you don't always have to pay debt if you will make more money from investments. But overall, say for example, you don't have any money right now and you don't have anything to invest right now whatsoever, what I want you to do is call your loan provider, whether that's Nelnet or whatever student loan provider you used before, it doesn't matter. Just call them and say like, hey, I'm going through a hardship right now. I can't pay you. I'm sorry. What can we do? They'll tell you like, hey, can you go into forbearance or can you just like pause the payments? That's fine. But remember, if you pause the payments, it's going to cost you money in interest because that interest is going to be growing and growing and growing and growing. And over time, that's going to add up to a lot of money. So at least try to pay down the interest while you actually can't pay off the entire amount. On top of that, if you call them and you tell them, hey, I want to pay it off over 10 years. Can we do that? It's like, no, we want it over 5 years or 2 years. You say like, hey, if you guys don't accept my terms, well, not like that, you know, but if you guys don't accept my terms, I can pay it off tomorrow and I'll be done with it, or I can refinance and I'll be done with it, okay? The point is, what I want to do is pay it over 10 years. That way you guys make more interest, which is what you want at the end of the day, right? Because business is business, and that way everyone is happy. And lastly, if you learn anything here, all you have to do is go to a loan calculator, calculate your loan payments over 10 years or 5 years or 2 years, whatever you want to do, and just use that number and put it on auto pay, and that way your loans get paid off every single month without you having to think about it whatsoever. So in conclusion, guys, I'm going to pay off my student loans in 10 years, but I'm also going to invest into real estate this year, and this way I get best of both worlds, okay? That's my goal. And notice I'm not one of the people on YouTube that complain about like, hey, I hate Nelnet, I hate these people, they're so bad. I just don't care. And here's why. Business is business. Just know what you're getting yourself into. And hopefully with this video, it helped you understand exactly the pros and cons of paying your student loans on time in like 5 years or 2 years, or just waiting a little bit longer. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video right here, well, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, just DM me, Bryson. And before I go, if you want to watch another video, for example, on how I make $23,000 per month, watch this video right here. And also click my face right here to also start your channel now. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.